out loud. Sorry. Go live.
This
Preparing
content
to
is
live
being-
stream, just reading what I'm seeing.
Right, it's going to a third party. Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube, it says.
What I have is a screen that says video unavailable. This video is private. And then it says go to home. So do I go to home? I
We could-
forgot what we did. Do we hit the YouTube?
Yeah, no, when you
Yeah,
go to home,
Right, we went to that little arrow and it gave me all the different YouTube things. But we don't want that.
no, that's no, I mean, that's just YouTube, so you can watch Jimmy Kimmel if you want to.
No, I don't want to watch any of those. I mean, yeah, I just don't know. I can't watch any of that. It gives me a nervous reaction. So it says this meeting is being live streamed.
Right.
Do you, but so how do I not see that? Does it matter if I don't know what, whether,
I don't either. It's a little weird because we fiddled around with it for a while yesterday, and then all of a sudden it seemed to, I could see it suddenly.
right. So, and does it mean just because you can see it, that the rest of the world can see it? Because what occurred to me is we're using your number to verify that this is a legitimate YouTube account. So
No.
maybe only you can see it.
No, that number, they just send a text message to that number because that's the number associated with that Northwest Bronx Gmail account. It has nothing to do with the actual streaming part.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what I thought, at least because Daniel could see it before any of us could see it last night, and I'm wondering if he has certain permissions that we don't have.
Can you see it though?
Well, I couldn't a couple minutes ago, but I'm going to try again.
Because it says on my screen, this meeting.
Yeah, now I can see it, but we don't have. See, it's slightly
Can you
delayed.
see it though?
Yeah, well, I couldn't a couple minutes ago, but I'm going to try again.
Because it says on my screen, this. Now
Uh-oh.
you're hearing what happened earlier. Because I wasn't talking just then. You were hearing.
All right, do me a favor and close that window where it says, this video is private. Just close that window.
It disappeared. Oh, no, here it is. I pushed it down.
All right.
Okay.
And
How
then
do
go
I
up
close it?
and then go back to your Zoom account, your Zoom page.
Wait a minute. How do I close it? Do I just exit out?
I think you can just exit out.
Okay. Oops.
So in your Zoom window, if you click on that little YouTube text at the top left.
Okay, wait a second. In the Zoom window, I click on that. Yeah.
And then it says live on YouTube, and then there's a little arrow to the right of that.
It doesn't say that on my
What does it say?
Well, mute audio. It says no.
What in the top left, right under where you would X out of the Zoom window?
Oh, that. Okay. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that. Okay. Uninstall Zoom.
No.
Hide Zoom. Hide others. Sign out. Quit Zoom. I'm in the top left.
All right. That's not all right. That's not what I'm seeing. All right.
What do you want me to do?
Well, let me see if I can I share my Zoom window? Let's try it. says host has disabled participant screen sharing.
I did not do that.
I know, I certainly you didn't do it by
Okay.
intention.
Okay.
So all right. In your Zoom window, where the X out, where you have the three little red, yellow, and green circles to manage the window, what do you
Yeah.
see right under those three dots?
Recording paused.
Okay, and that's it? You don't see anything else?
Original sound for music. It flips between that and recording paused.
Recording pause. Because it looks like that's so weird.
Yeah. This meeting is being live streamed. It says
Right,
that.
because I can see it. I mean, I've gone to see it. Um,
So the question is, are only you able to see it, or is the rest of the world able to see it? That's my question anyway. You seem to think everyone can see it,
well,
right?
I have an idea. I'm gonna, my wife uses this computer, so I'm gonna go log on as her. I'm not gonna close this. I'll leave this open. But you might not hear from me for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes while I go see if I can see it from her.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
All right, hold on. Carol, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're back.
It didn't work at all. My
That's what
computer now is locked up and won't do anything. So it's really so. But I'm on with you now on my laptop. I'm going to reboot my computer and try this again.
You see, that's what I was afraid of, that you wouldn't be able to see it anywhere.
Right.
I was
I couldn't even log into her account. And then when I gave up on that and tried to log back into my account, I couldn't do that either.
afraid.
The thing is just like flashing on and off. It's like it's going to explode or something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Very weird. All right. So maybe we should follow Daniel's advice and stream to Facebook instead of YouTube, since this seems to be. I'm willing to give one more try. Now that I've connected with you on my laptop, I should be able to try to see the video from my wife's account on the desktop computer.
Okay.
So
It still says this meeting's being live streamed.
right, because it is. I mean, it is still being live streamed.
Oh, it is.
You haven't changed anything. You haven't turned it off.
Haven't done a thing. You told me to wait. I was reading my emails.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try, while we wait for my computer to boot up and get that organized, I'm going to try doing the slide that I couldn't get right the last time. Let's see if I can do that.
Okay.
So let's see. First, I have to open the slide. And that will require you to go.
You know, it occurs to me, Steve, that maybe since the account is both yours and Daniel's, the indivisible account, maybe it would work for you and Daniel, but not work for some random other person like me.
Well, we'll find out in a second when the computer boots up, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I am now going to share my screen.
This is not a slide. This is your,
Yeah, this is not working. All right, stop. It's going to stop that.
you want to share a slide, right?
Right. Share screen. Oh, that's what I wanted.
No, still
That's
not.
not it either.
Nope. It looks like your email, your Google Mail, MoMA, that kind of thing.
I've got the slide in full screen. And now I want to go back.
What someone told me is that you have to put it on your desktop before you start the whatever you're gonna share it to. In other words, at 6:35, you would have to put it on your desktop, and that way when you go on at 7, it's right there, so you can share it. But that doesn't make sense to me because you have more than one screen you're gonna share.
Right.
So how would you flip between screen shares?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me try one. I'm going to try one more time.
Oh, maybe you're not the host. Maybe I have to make you the host. Am I the host now?
Yeah, you're the host.
So maybe,
So I changed it. I changed it to all participants. Let's try that.
okay. Yeah, there it is.
All right. What did I do differently this time?
You changed it to all participants. You changed the host to all participants? Is that what you
No,
changed?
there's a pop-up it's advanced sharing options, and it said who can share. All participants is the choice. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop the thing. I'm going to go back to the slide. I'm going to put it back to normal mode, and I'm going to try and do it one more time. Okay, let's try
Okay.
this one more time. All right, I'm going to go back to Zoom. Let's see. Six advanced share participants. Okay, we can close that. All right, so while Robin is starting to talk, I am going to get or even before that, I'm going to get that window in slideshow mode. Slideshow mode. Then I'm going to go Command Tab, and it takes me back to Zoom, which is good. And then I click on Share Screen. And I click on that, and it's all nice and blue. And I click share.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. Yay. I think I'm good. All right. So my other computer's all booted up now. So I have to I log in as my wife, and I'll see if she can find this streaming thing. And if she can't, then I think we need to bail and just use Facebook for the streaming.
Okay.
All right, it's logging in. Always take us a couple minutes for that to happen.
You know, when I just went to participants, it says Daniel Rennell's host me and Daniel Rennell's co-host. Is that supposed to be me?
No, we're both logged in as Daniel. If you want to make yourself less crazy, just rename yourself to Carol.
Oh, all right. So, I see. Yes, I'm Daniel. I didn't realize I was also Daniel. Okay.
I'll rename myself just to make that clear.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that I was Daniel. As I didn't look at any.
Yeah, no, it's not intuitive by any means. Oh,
And I don't think I can rename myself.
Should be able to.
I thought so, but when I tried to, it wouldn't let me. I clicked on rename, but it's not letting me rename. Go figure. I guess one of us has to be Daniel for this.
Those names don't mean anything. It's just a label for people to, like, other people on the Zoom to know your name. That's all.
Oh,
People come into my Zoom meetings with a phone number, or they come in. Every Sunday I run a letter party, and I come in with a name like Target Majority 2020 or something like that. And the first thing we do before anybody comes on is I just change that to Steve.
okay, I changed it. It worked. What I didn't realize was I had to change it. It was in the middle of all these labels.
Right.
And I didn't see it because I just was focused on Indivisible Harlem and Inwood Indivisible. I didn't realize this little box had come up that said rename. So I was thinking it would come up on my face, but
All right, so I am now going to try and get to the Zoom, to the YouTube. And if this doesn't work, I don't even know what am I going to look for when I get to YouTube?
oh, I don't know. We didn't name it anything, did we?
Hmm.
So how could you possibly know what to look for?
I'm stopping the sharing.
Okay. It's still being live streamed somewhere in the universe.
It is still being live streamed, and I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Well, maybe it's called meeting.
Well, or it could be under Daniel's name, or it could be,
Right. So weird. Why did we decide to use YouTube?
I think the argument for using YouTube was that if BronxNet was going to broadcast it, they
Oh,
needed it to be on YouTube.
I see.
So let's see how this one last grasp at making it work. And I'll send an email to you and to Daniel to sort of raise the issue of, should we bail and go with Facebook? Does he want to try one more session with the three of us to see if we can't get it ironed out, or
Okay. Is there something else I should do? I'm looking on more. I can stop the live stream. I could get support. It says support. Should I see what support means?
yeah, sure, see what it means.
Request desktop control, request application control, request computer restart. That's it.
I have no idea what any of those things is.
Okay. So since we don't know who in the universe can see this, and we don't know how to find it, maybe we should stop it and see if there's a way to name it.
Well, I'm almost to the point where I should be able to get to YouTube and see if it find a way to turn it up.
Okay.
It's a little slow, this computer.
Oh, considering how slow most things are, it's pretty fast, actually. I just noticed there's an AI companion.
Yeah, leave that alone. Now,
Oh, okay.
Helen clicked on that and she got down the rabbit hole and she had a terrible time, so.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if I could ask it to help us.
I think we would never see the end of that one.
Oh,
I mean, it's just not a Pandora's box I want to open just this moment.
okay.
Why is this so slow?
It's a good question. I don't know. This has been such a crazy time for me. I can't even begin to tell you because my co-op is bankrupt, and we're trying to get help from the state, from the politicians, and we haven't managed to secure any financial help from anyone. We're supposed to be state supervised as a co-op,
Yeah,
but whoever those people are, the state supervisors, they've been doing a shitty job. They haven't been helping us. So, it's HCR, Homes and Community Renewal, or whatever it's called.
uh-huh.
Consequently, we owe $6 million to vendors, and that's only the beginning of our problems. And we have so many problems, and this is, I think we're gonna lose our homes. They're gonna
Oh my God, that can't be.
yeah, it can be. If you go bankrupt as a co-op, we lose our investments, we lose everything. We lose, some developer can pop in there and buy up all the apartments, the buildings. We have 11 buildings on 10 acres of land.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've ever seen our co-op, but it's beautiful. It's 100 years old. It's a model for social housing. It was built by the Amalgamated Clothing Workers Union. So it's an incredible place. And I've lived here for 42 years, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose my apartment. And not just me. If it was just me, I'd say, well, tough luck, kid. You had a good run. I lived here for 42 years and I've been really happy. But my next door neighbors are living on their Social Security, and where are they going to go? I have 1,500 families. Where the hell are we going to go? So it's not just me. It's not just me being paranoid. I mean, I think it's really bad situation. So that's been stressing me out.
I don't blame you. I mean, that's crazy.
It's totally crazy, Steve. You have no idea.
State
So
has to do something to help you guys out.
one would think that Dinowitz, who's our local politician, would do something because we have 1,500 families that vote. This co-op votes.
Mhm.
When it's election time, we're lined up around the block, This is working class people. These are people who are teachers and, work in hospitals, and, it's crazy. It's just insane. So we formed our own ACU, Amalgamated Cooperators United. We've been trying to figure out a way to move the politicians, the governor, the state, to help us, to no avail. So, I mean,
What
when I
about,
said yesterday I was distracted, I am distracted because I'm working with an organization of cooperators, and we're floundering, trying to figure that out. And
Rivera? Can he help?
we've written to Senator Jackson, to Rivera, to Espaillat. We've written to them all, and the budget, we thought we were going to be in the state budget, but it turns out the money went to Co-op City. They have more families. We only have 1,500 families. They have like 10,000. I mean, they have 5,000 families. So they got $50 million. We didn't get anything. And it's not just us that's in trouble. All the Mitchell Lamas are in trouble. So the governor keeps talking about affordable housing, because New York City has a housing crisis. But what she means to do is hook up with these developers who will build new housing. And she's just forgotten about all the people who've been living in affordable housing, for 100 years. So
the $6 million that you're in debt, who is that owed to?
vendors,
Oh,
people who, we have old buildings, like my building's only 60 years old, but there are buildings here that are 100 years old that have faulty gas lines, that have bricks falling off of them, that need major structural infrastructure.
got it.
So we've been trying to do that, but that costs a lot of money. And we've managed to get $6 million in debt to people who've given us money to buy the stuff we need to fix the apartments. And the bank, we have no money in reserves. We've spent all of it. And the bank, NCB and Fannie Mae are saying, you need to have a reserve fund. Well, that's nice. And the Department of Buildings keeps fining us because we can't fix the things that they say we should be fixing. So on top of the fact that we're already $6 million in debt, the Department of Buildings is fining us $100,000 a year because we're not fixing the things they say we should be fixing. And there's all these Steve, I cannot believe the bureaucratic bullshit. The city council has issued all these unfunded mandates, and we can't meet them because they're unfunded mandates, and we have no money to fix the things.
Right.
So talk about rabbit holes. This one is a giant one. And I'm really stressed because I lived here for such a long time. These are all my friends and neighbors. I mean, it's a giant community, and the community votes Democratic, of course, because it's working class.
Do you have some pro bono legal people that are helping you out? I mean, because it would seem to me they're not gonna put 1,500 families on the street. That would be video footage that would lose a lot of elections for a lot of politicians. It would be a disaster. They're gonna find some way, somehow. It might take several years, but they're gonna figure it out. I mean, it must be very, 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 very anxiety producing to go through it. I can't imagine.
Yes, it's hugely anxiety. It's like, yeah, I agree with you. And every time I run into our local politicians who I see regularly, like every time I go to the diner, one of them walks in and I immediately walk up to them and say, "What are you doing for the Amalgamated?" They say, "Oh, don't worry." Well, I am worried because first of all, they've told our co-op that we're going to get a 42% increase in our maintenance charges. Now that's a lot of money. It comes down to $140 a room. And the people who live here are like, "What? I thought that wasn't even legal. I thought you couldn't do a carrying charge increase above 8% in New York. This is a 42% increase.
Yeah.
Crazy. So people are like, we're going to have to move. How are we going to stay here? 42. My rent's going up $1,000 a month. You know, I mean, I have a pension and Social Security, but many of my neighbors just have fixed incomes, just Social Security, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, Steve. I cannot tell you. And on top of that stressor, because I was a city worker, a teacher, a high school principal, all of the city workers, are you aware that we're about to lose our health insurance?
Right. Because my wife worked for the city, so I'm very, very aware of that problem.
That's a big problem, you know, because now's when I need my health insurance to be up to par.
Yeah.
I'm old and everything's falling apart. And you know what I mean? So that's another issue that we're facing. So I'm stressed about that. I'm stressed about losing my apartment. My kids want me to move in with them. And I've been independent. You know, my husband died 6 years ago. I'm sorry I'm laying this all out on you, but it's all me now. I have to figure out, do I just move out of my apartment and move in with my kids, or do I try to stretch my income so I can pay this huge increase, or do I move, look for someplace else to live? You know, my son is like freaking out. He's like trying to push me to move with my daughter because he knows I don't want to move to California, which is where he is.
Mhm.
All my friends, all my roots are here in New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, in that light, it's even more, I have even more gratitude that you're pitching in and helping helping us do this. So I appreciate that.
I've been an activist my whole life, you
No,
know.
yeah, you definitely are an inspiration. So we will be rooting for you.
Yeah, it's crazy because I sometimes feel like when I go to Northwest Bronx Indivisible, I want people to understand what's happening in my co-op because it's, you know, I know it's not democratic issues, so to speak, but this is grassroots. I'm not just talking about myself. There's 1,500 families. You know, we're down the hill from Riverdale. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We've always been like on the other side of the railroad tracks from Riverdale. You know, people don't even want to have meetings down here, it's crazy because this is like the heart of the Democratic community in the Bronx, you know, and we're actually closer to the number 4 train and the number 1 train than Riverdale is, you know, like it might be.
Riverdale is not close to anything. I lived in Riverdale years and years ago I sublet a place for about 3 or 6 months, and I hated it. I hated it because if I wanted to go I had a job in the city, right? I had to take a bus to get to the train, then I had to take the train because my job was like, afternoons and evenings. I mean, it took me hours just to get to work and to get to home from work. It was awful.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't like Riverdale, but I have a lot of friends who live there, you know, so
It's beautiful, but it's not convenient, that's for sure.
that's for sure.
When
Yeah.
when we moved from Westchester, where we had a house for many years, to the city, we were looking at apartments around in Washington Heights, where we ended up because we knew people here. But we saw how much cheaper the apartments were in Riverdale.
Yeah.
Way cheaper. And I said to my wife, but you pay a price for that. I mean, I'm 20 minutes from Midtown here. You just go 10 minutes further north by car and it's an hour and 20 minutes to Midtown, roughly. I mean, that's anyway. I'm gonna get going here because I could not find the YouTube. I got onto YouTube and I put in Daniel's name and there's some old videos that he made that are on there, but not the current live stream one. And I Google searched like live streams and
Yeah.
nothing came up that made any sense. So I'm gonna let's call it quits on this for now. And I'm gonna send Daniel an email and I'll copy you on it and just see what he says about what the next step should be.
Okay, I'm sorry that I know I wasn't helpful, but you didn't expect me to be, did you?
Oh, yes, I do. You're the one who's doing all of the, the very crucial, getting us to the YouTube streaming. So look, we each have our jobs to play here. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so now we just end, right?
Right. We can just end and then the streaming
How
will
do
end.
we end the live streaming?
Well, you found the link for that yesterday. Did you leave? Okay, you left.